Trust me, the bond between a dad and his pet is stronger than you think, and the grief can be truly heart-wrenching. My name is John, and I had the privilege of sharing my life with my beloved dog, Max. He was more than just a pet, he was my companion, my friend, and my family. We did everything together, from going on long walks to cuddling up on the couch. Max was always there for me, and I was always there for him. I remember the day I got Max like it was yesterday. He was just a puppy, full of energy and curiosity. I knew right then and there that he was going to be a special part of my life. And as he grew older, our bond only grew stronger. Max was more than just a pet, he was a constant in my life, a reminder that no matter what challenges I faced, I always had someone who cared about me. And I cared deeply about him. I loved watching him chase squirrels in the backyard, and I loved how he would snuggle up next to me at night. The events leading up to Max's passing were difficult, to say the least. At first, I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. But as time went on, I started to notice subtle changes in Max's behavior. He was slower, more lethargic, and he didn't have the same appetite he used to. I took him to the vet, thinking it was just old age catching up to him, but the diagnosis was worse than I could have ever imagined. The vet told me that Max had a terminal illness and that his time was limited. I was devastated. I couldn't bear the thought of losing my beloved companion. I did everything I could to make Max comfortable, from giving him medication to making sure he was eating as much as possible. But despite my best efforts, Max continued to decline. I remember feeling helpless, like there was nothing I could do to stop the inevitable. I would sit with Max for hours, just holding him and crying. I felt like I was losing a part of myself, like my heart was being ripped out of my chest. As the days went by, Max became weaker and weaker. I could see it in his eyes, the way he would look at me with a deep sadness. I knew he was tired, and I knew he was ready to go. But I wasn't ready to let him go. I wasn't ready to say goodbye. The day Max passed away is a day I will never forget. I was holding him in my arms, stroking his fur and telling him how much I loved him. He looked up at me with those big brown eyes, and for a moment, I saw the spark that made him who he was. And then, he was gone. I felt like I had been punched in the gut. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't think. All I could do was hold Max's lifeless body and cry. My family was around me, trying to comfort me, but nothing could ease the pain. I had lost my best friend, my companion, my everything. The days that followed were a blur. I went through the motions of planning a funeral, of saying goodbye to Max. But I was numb, I was in shock. I couldn't process the grief, I couldn't understand why this had happened to me, but as time went on, I began to realize that I wasn't alone. My family was there for me, my friends were there for me. They all came together to support me, to help me through the darkest time of my life. I also found solace in talking to other people who had gone through similar experiences. They understood my pain, they understood my grief. And slowly but surely, I began to heal. I learned that grief is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that takes time, patience, and understanding. And I learned that I didn't have to go through it alone. Today, I still think about Max every day. I miss him, I miss our walks, I miss our cuddles. But I know that he's no longer in pain, and that he's watching over me from above. Max may be gone, but he'll never be forgotten. He taught me the importance of living in the moment, of cherishing the time we have with our loved ones. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful. If you've lost a pet, you know how hard it is. You know the pain, the grief, the heartache. But I want you to know that you're not alone. We're all in this together, and we can get through it together. If you'd like to share your own story of loss, please leave a comment below. And if you'd like to watch another video about pet loss and healing, I'll put a link in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and thank you for sharing in my journey.